Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Sherlock Holmes, Chapter 1. And if you couldn't tell from Sherlock's garb, the lovely scenery, or the noise going on in the background, we are at one hell of a party. In the last episode, Sherlock finally accepted Vogel's invitation to the Manchios Mansion, and we found this shindig going on. The only thing that we've done so far is we've overheard some conversation for John's journalistic endeavors. But now we need to try and find Vogel and figure out what exactly is going on and why we were invited here in the first place. So let's go ahead and kind of just look around here. Can't go through there. Guess we could try... Oh, we got like these little parlors.
Codex Orchis. Why does this occult book sound like a flower? These medieval botany and chemistry books look even more satanic than the occult ones. Romantic poetry and prose. Someone's in touch with their feelings.
So this place belongs to Kurt Manchios, huh?
Well-known and recent plays to keep up to date with the current trends.
One of these books must open a secret passage. I know it.
Wonder if we could actually go into detective mode and figure that out. Oh. Alright, we got some fiery torches here. Let's back off and explore the rest of this before we go on. Now, I think this is where we... Oh, never mind.
Sherlock! Friend! I wasn't sure you'd come.
Definitely a man of the people.
Verner, I see you are not yourself.
The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show you all we have to offer.
And what is on offer today?
Pleasure, indulgence, relief, and relaxation. You've earned some time for yourself, have you not?
Those who know me would say I'm incapable of it.
Nonsense. I refuse to believe there is anyone permitted to know Sherlock Holmes.
You may be right.
Then free yourself from inhibition and expectation. The night is young, and so are the guests. You should try to enjoy both. It's not healthy for handsome men to spend every night alone, and certainly not in a house filled with such melancholic memories.
I must admit, my travels have proven more taxing than expected. I'm less confident in my life and myself. Time of relaxation seems a distant dream.
So can I tempt you with a physical aid to your moral consolations? There's wine, of course, and something to smoke, or perhaps an artificial paradise? Yes, something more spiritual, a potentiator to sharpen the mind. A 7% solution of, well, that'd be telling, but you must try it.
I've said it before, but I really like him as an antagonist for Holmes because he presses Sherlock's buttons in a way that, like, Moriarty wouldn't. And he's like a hedonist. And it's enticing to Holmes in certain ways, especially with Sherlock's predilection to vice, at least in the books and in many interpretations. Oh? Reckless or pointless? Pointless.
My mind already operates at a far higher level than most. I struggle to believe anything could improve it. My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth, and I do that perfectly well as is.
Duty? You've never cared about that before.
Of course I do. Exposing a lie, revealing a fact, that is a moral responsibility.
That's not morality. Morals are what happens afterwards when truth collides with consequence. Do you ever follow up on cases you solved? Do you ever see what happened next? Visit the victims? Ensure justice is served in the courts? And how do you choose where to direct your attention? Are there not deserving causes to which your brilliance could be applied but isn't?
You ascribe me more power than I possess. I have a narrow skill set and work within that mandate. What occurs afterward is irrelevant.
With every action or inaction, you place a finger on the scales of morality. Many in the city would see you as abdicating your responsibility.
I haven't.
Not me, of course. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. Now I must insist on easing any burdens I've placed upon your shoulders. Show yourself a kindness, and try this rather delectable concoction.
I wonder if this is where Sherlock gets hooked. I won't need it.
If this solution truly does assist with thinking, then perhaps it would be puerile to overlook an opportunity to study it. I'll take it with me.
Yes, Sherlock. Very good. And now, our evening begins in earnest. I just remembered. I'm sorry, Sherlock. My mind's delightfully impaired. Please take this key. It opens the altar room, past the library.
Pardon? Altar room? What now, Verner?
Go quickly and find our Fabio. Only you can make him talk. I'll join you in a minute.
Like we have that entire conversation, and then he's like, oh, I am very impaired right now. Oh, I see the needle. Okay, I thought this was the area where we were overhearing some conversations for John, but I guess not. I thought we were going to be doing a chemical analysis. I guess not.
Look, I'm an outlaw.
Quick on the draw. Oh, this must have been it. Okay. Gotcha. Well, now that we have the key, I guess we can go toward that interesting room we saw with the braziers. Yeah, this doesn't look like this will go wrong.
My God. Was he here this whole time?
I would say yes. And honestly, I'm not at all surprised what with the occult shenanigans going on. Okay, we got a lot to observe here. Vogel's testimony. We have 6 things to look at.
This crude tattoo partially covers as slave branding.
Ooh.
A blunt force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage.
Got roses.
This golden handle has a bloodstain on it.
So the killer had blood on their hands already.
The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance. The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart. This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood.
Kind of reminds me of Dark City a little bit. Which is an incredible movie.
The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it. He died right here.
And was alive. And we got Mind Palace clues. It's been a while since we've seen those. Oh God, hi. Where'd you come from?
Verner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts. But I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Then pull yourself together, Verner.
Hell's bells.
What is it about these nights that you are so eager to share with me?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their boundaries in a safe and consensual atmosphere. Often with more stains than your typical crime scene. But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
I suppose that's fair. What about today, then? Was anything different?
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life entertain me.
Or death. Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were...
Filling time?
Waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
Wow, this guy.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
Man, we're going to get a lot of info here.
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Verner. Well done. So you returned later only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil, not this travesty that seems straight out the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks. The fertility rite marks the start of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
Give me problems, give me work. Okay, well, now that I know we can... Oh, we can't change clothes here. Alright, This reminds me a little bit of the horrible case we had to do with the refugee woman. And, like, the whole ritual of it and everything, so we're in...
This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger.
You're in dangerous waters now, guys.
This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly. The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony.
Now, let's look at the runes here.
The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars.
And Venus over here.
This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus, drawn in a hurry.
Victim's description. Doesn't look like there's anything backstage. Oh, never mind. The dressing room.
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchios.
Oh, is this the key that was stuck in the door?
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
Would you recognise me in one of these? I suppose not.
Were you echoey, John? Where are you? You hiding out?
Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains.
Oh, old wardrobe.
Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains. Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set. Identical to the robes the guests are wearing.
With a wet handprint. So grabbed that and tried to hide it in there.
This is a different ritual.
I found a scenario of some sort of ritual with a remark written at the beginning. It says, "Read and rehearse this rite, Manchios." The naked woman lies on the altar on a bed of flowers, symbolizing Mother Gaia. The one who leads the ritual oils the body of the woman to awaken her inner fertility. Participants should chant at this moment and call for the man who can please Mother Gaia. Then the man who will impersonate the principle of life may come to engage in sexual congress with her. That's pretty much what Vogel described. Manchios' note. Don't ignore the guests, Matista, and stop boring them. They don't want to hear about your stupidities. They want to feel how beautiful they are, and how generous you can be towards them. You're here to please and celebrate life. Remember, each guest paid a great deal to be with you. Manchios.
How can anyone accept such behaviour?
Yeah.
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal.
Performers' preparation tables. Sounds like John's like up on the ceiling.
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it.
Maybe this was used to... Yep.
Blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain.
Someone was not as thorough as they'd want to be. Just have to figure out who. Alright, I'm not gonna go that way yet. John?
Don't be jealous, Sherlock.
Alright, fine. Supposed to be the VIP room.
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion.
One's still lit.
Why don't people tidy up after themselves?
Some people want to know where their writing crop is, Sherlock. Don't judge.
Blood. A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened.
Ah, so that might have caused the head trauma.
An open wound spoiled the carpet.
Okay. That's interesting because it looks like he was just... He was definitely alive. He was definitely alive when he was stabbed because he was gripping the blanket here. At least I'm making that assumption right now. Okay. Anything else that we need to look at? Good lord. Look at all this. Smoking lounge. Let's go ahead and pin that.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood.
Oh, there's a lot more.
A bloody handprint on an armchair. The wounded person was here for some time. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
We still can't change clothes. It annoyed me when Vogel said that he could see our cheeks blush. And I guess the mask is like that. Okay, Father John. No. Wasn't choking. That was definitely a stabbing. He was there for some time. That would explain the blood on the handle. So, cracked him over the head, dragged Fabio over here. The handprint doesn't match. It would match right there. Oh, we got 2 more areas. This was you attempting to... Yeah. Trying to wash it all clean after the act. This makes the most sense to me. So after the crime, just trying to get rid of the evidence. So some sort of argument, a crack over the head, dragging him over here, and then the thing of... Okay, hand... Which hand? That's the left hand. That's the right hand that's on the... Ooh. Well, I guess there could be blood on both. Let's go ahead and try this one for real quick first. Oh wait, there's one more. No, definitely didn't hold it back. Now, if this doesn't work, we're going to have to figure out what role Fabio had to do in all of this. But let's see. Hey!
The bottle was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you alright? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
Huzzah. Shall we go to the Mind Palace here real quick? Fabio was sacrificed on the altar during an occult ritual. The murderer was in possession of a key to the altar room and locked the door. So I'm thinking right now we have to choose between Manchios and the lady. What was her name again? No, that's the mother's love quest. Amatista. Because they would be the only ones that would be in here with Fabio. The ritual was a cover. The ritual was staged. It was a cover for the true murder for the true murder motive. I guess that would make sense.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Verner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Verner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all. The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry.
Okay. I'm about to disturb the revelry. And we are going to do that, guys, at the beginning of the next episode. I knew that there was going to be something perverse here, but the ritual, there's definitely a lot of different directions this could go. And we'll figure that out hopefully soon. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.